Hey everyone, this is Ryan Mallory for SharePlanner.com. Today is December the 4th, 2015, and the purpose of this YouTube Google Hangout is to essentially talk about, is this the start of the Christmas rally? And then I'm going to go over some of my own personal trade setups that I'm watching right now. But first off, I got a little bit of the sniffles right now. I'm getting over a little bit of a cold that I acquired over the Thanksgiving holidays. So with that said, let's jump into this S&P 500 right here. The last 2 days have been really trying because you have about on Tuesday you had a nice breakout, of really nice. And so what I want to do here is I want to take away the price action from the last 3 days and just show you what we had at the end of Tuesday. We had a really good breakout here working, and looked like we were going to test this. Let me move this for right now. That's not important. Excuse me. We had this huge breakout level that we were on the verge of testing. I thought on Wednesday we'd probably test it and eventually break out of it, and that would be in line with the whole Christmas rally seasonal factors there. But we did it, and the sell-off the next day really caught a lot of people off guard. But then again, when you add the Bollinger Bands on here, and Bollinger Bands, the middle band of the Bollinger Band is essentially the 20-day moving average. And always do the wrong one. And right now we're actually above. As of that day, we still held on to that middle band. So that was a good sign. It was an engulfing pattern where we basically encompassed the entire day's price action and dropped below its lows of the day. So that was definitely a significant negative. But overall, in my opinion, I thought it would be a bit of a knee-jerk reaction to say, okay, I'm getting out of everything and going to cash. I mean, I sold a couple of positions. I sold MDRX for like a 4% gain and some other plays, but to just go straight cash after a day like Wednesday, as bad as it stunk, I felt like it was too much of a knee-jerk reaction. So I held on for the most part. I think I dropped my exposure by 10% to the long side and had 40% cash. And then, you had yesterday where we just really sold off hard. We held the 50-day moving average, but there really wasn't anything else going for it. So yesterday, it definitely makes you doubt a lot. Okay, are we starting to see a significant change here in the price action? Are we on the verge of even just like an 8-day sell-off like what we saw back in early November, or something worse where you had this like 5-day slide in August that was just very steep and very significant? So all those things go through your head as a trader. You just don't know. But, you look at some of the support levels here, like this rising trend line off of the November 14th lows that held, and the 50-day moving average wasn't breached, which I don't know if holding the 50-day moving average is a major significant thing. But nonetheless, things were completely collapsing on themselves as a result of yesterday's sell-off. So, obviously the Fed is wanting to, raise the rates later this month, and that's not going to really be a surprise. I was for a while there. I still wasn't completely sold that they would, simply because they have a history of backing off. I mean, maybe something, bad happens, God forbid, and there's reason for them not to still. I don't know. But, based on what we know right now, yeah, they'll raise their rates a 0.25%. I don't think they'll do anything more than that. I think it would be stupid because no one's really expecting that. So I think they want to ease into it and not like shock the system. And they don't either want all the efforts that they've put into the quantitative easing and everything else, all these bailouts over the last 6 years to go up in flames either. So they got to be careful. Just do a 0.25% and be done with it. I think everybody expects it, wants it at this point, because they just don't want all this nonsense to keep dragging on. So today you get the big rally, people start saying the right things and everything. And then thankfully, I guess I haven't seen anything, but Janet Yellen isn't talking. Anytime when she's not talking, that's a good day. I would love to see a study, quite honestly, of what the market does on average when she does talk versus what the market does on average when she doesn't talk. And I guarantee you the bulls probably have an edge on the days that she does not talk. So now, if you look at December, okay, last year it was slightly down. It formed like a little doji candle on the monthly chart, and then you have to go back to, like, I think it was 2011. I want to say where there was a down December, or 2010. But anyways, there's been a couple of bad Decembers, or marginally lower Decembers, I guess is probably the better word to put it, but nothing significant. You don't really see the sell-offs, the heavy sell-offs happen in December. And so you do have to pay special attention to the seasonal factors that go into the month of December, because there is a precedent for that so-called Santa rally, the Christmas rally, where the stocks just do very, very well during this period. And, I'm not going to, just jump right to the short side and expect this market to have a cataclysmic sell-off like what we saw in August, which is actually a more traditional month for such kinds of sell-offs, like the summer months. Those are usually the months that you see the big sell-offs. Not really December. January of late has been a little bit weak, so that's something to keep in mind as we head into 2016. But in any case, though, overall today it's been a great day in the portfolio. I actually am in UPRO for the third time in the last, I guess you could almost say, last 24 hours. I bought UPRO on 3 separate occasions, I've had 3 separate UPRO trades. Now you look at UPRO, and this goes like for S&P as well. You got a massive inverse head and shoulders pattern right here on the S&P 5-minute chart. You can even say it's on the 30-minute chart as well, and it's breaking out on it. I mean, it looks really good. I mean, I think we're probably going back up towards that 2100 level where we started this whole sell-off at. And but nonetheless, though, I bought UPRO before yesterday. I actually bought it overnight. I bought it here towards the close when the market was showing some signs of wanting to rally. At the close on the 2nd, I got into a nice little start, and then it just beat me to pieces here. When it couldn't rally here, I got stopped out of it, and then I got back in here again, and then it couldn't hold that base either, and I got stopped out of that one again. So probably by this point, when I get into it at, this 3 o'clock hour here, when we're getting a little bit of a base going, there's probably some of the folks that are wondering if I've lost my mind yet. But honestly, I do that a lot during the sell-off. So I will try to stage or try multiple times to get into like a UPRO and try to time my entry on that in a favorable way. And that's essentially what I've had to do. And today it's paying off. Okay, so I lose like I could tell you here right away. The first trade on UPRO, I lost. I do not have it in front of me here. I'll go off my memory, but I think it was like 1.8% I lost on the first go around with UPRO, and on the second go around, I lost. Here it is. I lost 2.4%. So now I'm up 6%. So you could see where one trade, if you timed it right and you managed the risk appropriately on the 2 previous ones, how one trade can actually wipe out the losses and actually make you net profitable between the 3 trades. So fortunately, that's what happened. I manage risk like a hawk, and it's paying off, because today it's up quite a bit, over 6%. And I tweeted out earlier that you're only as happy as your saddest stock or your worst stock in your portfolio. And today, the worst stock in the portfolio, if it wants to come up, here we go, is Tesla. It's trying to make a comeback. It's been trying to make a comeback all day. It may still be kept in the portfolio. If it weakens any here, I'll probably just cut it and try to see if move on from the trade, basically. But the stock looks really good. It has this double bottom working here. It's really trying to hold. It held it together. It's held itself together yesterday, but today it's just really struggling. So that remains to be seen. But it's always an irritation when you have an outstanding day in your portfolio and that one stock just sort of nags. Like, ugh. In any case, though, we have ADXK. It's up about 1.75%, 1.8%. It's breaking out nicely above this resistance level. That's what I traded it off of. Amazon, about 1%, not doing as well as it probably should be doing, but it's finding a little bit of support off of that 20-day moving average. It's been continuing to find support off of that 20-day moving average. So ideally, I'd like to see that level hold going forward, and maybe push up to that $700 level in the not so distant future. BAC, this one really beat us up a bit yesterday. Sold off hard. We got into it early on, and it just never did really well. Actually, we got into it on the second at 1781. It looked like that breakout was going to be nice, but 2 days of selling just really took its toll on the stock. Today, it's bounced back quite nicely, up almost 3%, and it's revalidated the trade in the process. So CRM, excellent. I mean, this is really what I want out of this stock. I mean, I've been waiting for a while for it to give us this kind of price action. So here you got, a breakout, and then it's held this breakout level quite nicely despite testing it on numerous occasions. I got in it back on the retest of around that $80 level, and so far so good. Actually, I got in at about $79.86, so it's doing quite well. MSFT, this was a new addition today. It's rallied really hard. Right now I'm up a good 2% on the stock, and this is I've played this stock multiple times here since it's been in this consolidation pattern. This is the first time where if this holds into the end of the day, I was like, all right, finally, it's doing what I thought that it would do, and that's the look that we're getting out of it right now, and hopefully that continues into next week as well. SCHW, this is one I've been eyeballing for a long time, waiting for the breakout. It pulled back a little bit. I got into it early on, and it's breaking out very similar fashion to Microsoft. So UPRO, that had some of its headaches yesterday, and now it's bouncing. It's up about a measly 6%, but overall, I'm very happy with that one, and want to continue to hold these stocks into the weekend. The only one that's in question really right now is Tesla, to see how strong it can finish the day at. Some of the trade setups that I really like today, SWHC, ticker in our chat room, he spotted this one, and I really like it. I think, you could probably say it's breaking out right now. I'm a little bit nervous, quite honestly, and I don't get too hung up on fundamentals. There's some stocks like Herbalife that there's just too much craziness going on the fundamental side for me to even, consider it to the technical side. But, obviously you had that big, unfortunate travesty in San Bernardino, and multiple people died. And of course, politicians are never, slow enough to or never, I don't know what you say. They're very opportunistic, when they have a tragedy, to try to make a political issue out of something. And Smith & Wesson, I don't know what they're going to do with gun control laws or anything else going forward, but obviously anything that restricts the sales of guns, it's not going to help a stock like Smith & Wesson. So despite the fact that it's breaking out in style today, it's kind of a nerve-wracking stock to want to get long on, because we're just right out of this, mass shooting terror event in San Bernardino, and you're worried about, okay, what's this going to mean for the gun manufacturers if they do some executive orders over the weekend or anything else. Excuse me, once again, I'm trying to get over a nasty cold here that I've had the last few days. So that's one that I like. Hawaii HA, it's trying to break out today. I haven't had much luck with the airliners, quite honestly, lately. I think I had a really good trade earlier on. I can't remember if it was last year or earlier this year, but I did American Airlines once, and it turned out really good. But overall, the airliners haven't been kind to me. Nonetheless, this is a somewhat of a nice setup here. We talked about, I don't know if we talked about TXN yet. I don't think we have, but this is a beautiful breakout, up 2%. But if I wanted to put more capital to work, this would probably be the next stock that I would invest in. A few others, ETFC. I'm already in Schwab, so I don't want to keep adding more and more brokers to the portfolio. But this is coming out of consolidation nicely, as is Ameritrade. So actually, it's not yet, but it's getting pretty darn close to it. So this is one to keep an eye on for Monday to see whether or not it can actually break out. LVLT. This was a bit disappointing because I considered jumping into it early on, and it just wasn't sitting well with me. I was looking at it around that 51.30 level. I thought that it might bounce. It's up 1%, but good grief, the market's like up 2%. So it should be doing better than that. But I do think that for Monday, okay, let's keep an eye on it for Monday because this one may be a stock that might be ready to blast off. What else do I have to throw your way? CIEN. I do like this one too. I think it was INFIN that I traded not too long ago. Yeah. I liked INFN or a lot. I think I made about 4 or 5% on this trade. Did really good. CIEN, same industry. You can see an even better setup right now. You get this descending trend line here, and it's found some support right off of that descending trend line, and it looks like it wants to bounce. So if it wants to bounce, let's bounce with it. So come Monday, that's a stock that I'm going to be looking at getting long on if this market can hold up over the weekend. And that's it. That's all I got for you today. It's been a rocky week. Today I'm pretty much making up for all the lost gains over the last 2 days. Believe it or not, I'm actually surprised that if this market can hold these gains into the close, that pretty much one day will more than make up for the losses from the last 2 days, and for that I'm quite happy. And so that would put us in positive territory for the week, which is also a good thing. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to email me, ryan@sharepointer.com. If you want to trade with me on a day-to-day basis, I'm in the SharePointer chat room each day with tons of other traders. It's a great community of traders, tons of ideas. A lot of my ideas I get off of other traders. I mean, they are constantly putting out some excellent trade ideas and trades that are very worthy and worth following. So I highly encourage you to become part of the best trading room on the internet and trade with me each day as I provide my trade alerts in the chat room as well as via text and email. And I send those text alerts also to international people from Angola to Australia. Every continent's getting my my text swing trade alerts. So if you're one of those that would like to get that, sign up for the SharePointer Splash Zone. Go to www.sharepointer.com/splash zone. Once again, that's www.sharepointer.com/splash zone. And there you can sign up and you'll be right in the mix of it right away. So that'll be it for today. If you have a great weekend and God bless.